This is on the Maharashtra political crisis. Now, there is a Supreme Court order where it concerns the disqualification of the 16 Shinde-faction MLAs, and that is likely to be taken up tomorrow. So, a big decision there coming out of the Supreme Court that will happen tomorrow on what is going to be the future of the Sena and the disqualification of the 16 Eknath Shinde faction MLAs. Remember, Uddhav Thackeray and Eknath Shinde faction have been in this tug-of-war ever since there has been a toppling of the Uddhav Thackeray-led government, the MVA government in the state of Maharashtra. But now what will become of the current dispensation in Maharashtra is something that is going to come out of the court tomorrow. My colleague Ananya is joining us with all of those details. Yes, Ananya.
Well, the 5 judges Constitution bench headed by the Chief Justice of India is likely to pronounce its judgment in the Maharashtra political fiasco case tomorrow. And, this is something that could turn the face of the Maharashtra politics. This is something that is a very, very crucial judgment when it comes to the tussle between the two factions in the Sena, the Eknath Shinde faction and the original Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Sena. There were various questions of law that were involved into this particular case, and we had seen lengthy arguments taking place from both the sides, while the Eknath Shinde faction was represented by, in fact, Mr. Neeraj Kishan Kaul and various other senior advocates. The arguments on the point of Uddhav Thackeray were led by Mr. Singhvi and Mr. Sibbal, and clearly the Solicitor General represented the Maharashtra governor. Various issues, including the applicability of the Nama Brevia judgment of the Supreme Court, whether the Speaker can disqualify these people, and whether Speaker can actually adjudicate on the disqualification proceedings against these 16 people who had then knocked the doors of the Supreme Court from a 3 judges bench to then to a 5 judges bench. The matter traveled. In fact, the Supreme Court also refused to review its judgment in the Nama Brevia case and said that the judgment is right in its part. But at the same point of time, this judgment, either way it's coming, loss is going to happen to one of those factions, and there would be a big tussle in the Maharashtra politics when this judgment actually comes out. A very crucial judgment coming in tomorrow by the Supreme Court of India. Various questions of law, not only restricted to Maharashtra, but also could turn the way of the anti-defection law in the country, and might also be read down for various elections, not only for the previous ones, but also for the ones to come in the later stage, and how defections could actually take place and how it would result is something that the Supreme Court would be answering likely tomorrow in its judgment when the 5 judges sit and pronounce their orders.
Ananya, thank you so much for that. Let me bring in our colleague Mayuresh Ganpate, who is also now joining us on the broadcast. Mayuresh, needless to say, it is a make or break for the current Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Eknath Shinde. His eyes are going to be on the apex court. The BJP must be as worried. What are you learning from your sources? Have there been any responses ahead of this big judgment that is all set to come out of the Supreme Court tomorrow?
Absolutely, because all the parties right now in Maharashtra, including the Uddhav Thackeray Sena, including Eknath Shinde Sena, and also BJP and NCP, they're not really coming on the record and they're saying that we don't want to comment right now about this judgment. But yes, tomorrow will be the biggest day in the history of Maharashtra politics and the national politics, because as my colleague was telling, that this particular judgment will not only change the narrative, but this will be kind of a landmark judgment when it comes. And now it would be interesting to see that what exactly the judgment comes, whether it is in favor of Eknath Shinde or against Eknath Shinde. If it comes in the favor of Eknath Shinde, then certainly in Maharashtra the situation will remain same. But if it comes against Eknath Shinde, then certainly the situation will definitely change in the Maharashtra. And then the Mahavikas Aghadi, what role they play and how they tackle this situation, that needs to be seen. Because right now, we have seen that the Mahavikas Aghadi, where Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray, Congress and NCP were in the power. Shiv Sena got splitted vertically and Eknath Shinde formed the government with BJP. But if the disqualification happens, then certainly, again, a lot of things will happen in Maharashtra. And as I said, that this will be the landmark judgment, because taking cue from this particular verdict, the similar cases which will come in the future will get decided. So it would be interesting to see that tomorrow, what would be the judgment or the order they give.
Absolutely. And Mayuresh, like you rightly said, 2 outcomes are possible from the Supreme Court tomorrow. One could be that the judgment is in favor of Mr. Eknath Shinde. In that case, the status quo in Maharashtra is going to remain. But in case it is not, then Mr. Shinde will have to resign immediately, and that will set the ball rolling for formation of a new government in Maharashtra.